Welcome to What's Up, Doc, a podcast by Miramont Wellness Centers in Fort Collins, Colorado, hosted by Dr. John L. Bender, MD, Fellow of the American Academy of Family Physicians and CEO of Miramont Wellness Centers.
Hello once again, and welcome to an exciting episode of What's Up, Doc. I'm your host, Dr. John Bender, and with me I have a guest sidekick, Ms. Karen Knoll, because Janessa, unfortunately, is out ill today. So this is going to be semaglutide roulette. You're just going to tell me what you want to talk about, and we're going to go with it.
Okay. Well, we'll spin our little wheel here for our roulette. I would say let's talk about nausea.
Oh my gosh. So nausea, or maybe a better way to describe it, is queasiness. So queasiness is really common with GLP-1s and with compounded semaglutide. Think about the mechanism of action. This is shutting off your gut, Karen. So basically, if you've eaten breakfast, lunch, supper, and you go home and then do your shot, you just shut your gut down with basically 3 meals in it. And so you're going to experience a lot more abdominal distension, reflux, and nausea. We know that water helps. If you can drink 64 ounces of water a day minimum, and when it's hot out, I think here in Larimer County today it's going to hit 98 degrees, then we want you actually drinking closer to 100 ounces. Now, one of the other things that I like people to think about with nausea is consider that, how did America get so overweight? Like if we go back 30 years ago, Colorado, where we're from, is the thinnest state in the union. Fast forward now to the year 2024, we're still the thinnest state in the union. But did you know that if you took Coloradoans from today and you put them back 30 years ago and compared them against the other 50 states, we'd be the heaviest state in the union. So even though we are still the thinnest in the union, everyone nationwide has gotten so much heavier in the last 30 years. Now, what does it take to do that? At some point, most of us have felt too full. Like if you've eaten too much at Thanksgiving, you get to where you just don't want any more pumpkin pie, right? You're done. But the reality is that it's a learned behavior to be able to ignore that sense of being overfull. That's the only way you can get too heavy. You have to at some point start ignoring what fullness feels like. Good example, take a 2-year-old or an 18-month-old. Try to overfeed them. Try them, I dare you. If they don't want to eat it, they're not going to eat. And in general, they're not over heavy. I mean, they can be, but for the most part, 18-month-olds are going to be pretty at their ideal body weight. It takes time for us as we go through puberty and become adults to learn how to ignore that sense of being too full. Well, what does it feel like to be too full? What do you feel it feels like to be too full? How would you describe it?
I want to barf.
Okay. Would you describe it as nausea?
Queasy. Yeah.
Right. So here's the point. When people say I'm nauseated, well, they might just be overfull. I mean, if their stomach is full and they're overeating anyway, one of the things the semaglutide does, I believe, is it starts resetting that sense of early satiety. It makes you feel like you're full, like you did when you were 18 months old. And your body just says, I don't want any more food. If you then go ahead and eat beyond that, you will be nauseated. Now, there's 2 solutions at that point, right? One is you could stop the semaglutide, or you could stop eating too much food, right? Okay.
Agreed.
So, so many times in medicine, patients come in and they have high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, and I say, here's a pill, and now you can eat anything you want to, right? Isn't that kind of what we're doing in medicine?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be smarter to use food as our medicine and eat our way to a healthy blood pressure, a healthy cholesterol, a healthy blood sugar number, and a healthy weight?
Yeah.
Now, there are some other things we can do for queasiness. I like to have the bowels flat as possible. We like everyone taking a tall 8-ounce glass of psyllium fiber. Psyllium is an ancient grain. It's gluten-free. It's very well tolerated. And it tends to just trap and eliminate waste. And by flattening your tummy, you don't have a backlog. People tell me, well, I'm not constipated. It's not for constipation. Remember, these medicines make you regular, right? So they're not laxatives. And part of what they're doing is they're helping to increase the transit time. If you eat a bite of food today and you don't poo it out for 36 hours, that's a problem. Maybe you're supposed to poo it out in 18 hours. Increase that transit time, that's going to flatten your tummy. You have less backlog. I mean, if the stomach's full and it wants to dump food into the bowels, but the bowels are full, where's the food going to go? You're going to get more reflux. You're going to have more queasiness.
Yep.
So flatten the bowels and the queasiness gets so much better. Well, we're out of time, and so we're going to let you go. But Karen, thank you for being our special guest today.
Thanks for having me.
And we look forward to seeing you next time on What's Up, Doc. Have a great day.